Welcome to Happy Fun Time Sports, presented by Dodgers Nation. Remember to visit DodgersNation.com for breaking news, analysis, and opinion. I'm Kevin.
And I'm FRG, and on today's show, we're going to talk about Kershaw por vida, Holmes.
Who in the NL West might dethrone the Dodgers this year?
If the eighth inning were today, what could we expect?
Jake Arrieta, a Dodger?
And could the Dodgers start soon cutting players, literally?
Uh-oh. And as usual, we'll give our BAEs of the week. But first, a word from today's sponsor. We do this show for free because we love it, and as a result, I now have FRG living in my laundry room and surviving off of Tide Pods and dryer lint. Point of the story is that if you like what we're doing, you want to see more of it, and you want to get some Happy Fun Time Sports swag and or other perks and benefits, please go to our Patreon page and show your support. Is it Patreon? I don't know. One of the two. But there's multiple levels of support available, from the nosebleed section, which is $3 a month, all the way up to the Dodgers Dugout Club, which is $150 a month. And they include benefits like Happy Fun Time Sports merchandise, exclusive content, coming with us to watch Dodger games, being a guest on the show, or getting FRG sending you specific dabs on Snapchat. So go to patreon.com/HFTS to support the show today.
Yes, it's the lightning round.
Finally.
Our favorite round, because it starts us off. Finally.
Yes, finally.
Anywho, so this is the section of the show where we give you news and highlights from camp during the week of on the screen.
Ow. The hell?
That's why he can't turn right in the future.
Painful.
So let's go ahead and open up right away. Dodgers owner Mark Walter says that he sees Kershaw and he hopes to make Clayton Kershaw, a Dodger for life. We assume it's going to be some sort of blood in, blood out sort of pact, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dodgers.
I really want to see, like, this needs to be on screen for a very long time. I put in good work on that one. I approve. But I'm concerned because how well is Kershaw going to be as your ace at age 60, age 65? I mean, life can be long.
That is a very long time. Yeah. I mean, I'm worried because, we think of guys that are already in their 90s, like Chase Utley, who they're just diminishing and they're not worth that kind of money. So what happens when Kershaw is 91, 92, 93 years old and we're still paying him, $40, $50 million a year?
Inflation, he'll be at about 97 crypto bits.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of crypto bits.
Trust us, you'll understand this in a few decades.
Yes.
It's insane. Next, the Dodgers Nation Twitter, they put out an opinion poll asking fans who do they think the biggest threat to dethrone the Dodgers of their sixth consecutive NL West crown could be this upcoming season. So, Kevin, who do you think could be that team or that reason or whatever?
Well, based on what happened this offseason and some of the moves that this team made, plus their impeccable record, I'm going with the Harlem Globetrotters. I think they have a really good shot at winning the NL West. I don't ever see them lose. That's a tough team to beat. That's a really tough team to beat, especially with Willie Slick Monroe now playing point guard for them.
Yeah.
How about you, FRG? What do you got?
And he's batting cleanup.
He is.
Yeah.
Also batting cleanup.
Yeah. I actually am going with the fan. I'm calling this my tasty tweet.
Oh.
It's my top tasty tweet. And Mikey B3102. You could at him. He won me over with Zombie Apocalypse. I think this is probably the most realistic thing that could dethrone the Dodgers this season.
I would say so.
Yeah, because it's reasonable to happen. We see it happen on TV all the time. There's a show about these dead people walking.
Yeah, that was a documentary I think that was created on AMC, right?
Yeah. Which is really American Motor Company. So it's crazy. I didn't know that they started making TV.
Well, I mean, the AMC Spirit stopped selling so well. Yeah.
Times are tough.
I did hear that Zombie Kershaw still has a sub-2 ERA.
Yeah.
So
I'll sign
pretty
him.
Impressive.
Do you sign him for unlife? Can he be a Dodger for unlife? Let us know in the comments below.
Dodger for eternity.
And I do have a runner-up at Lose to LA. Came up with Rihanna.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could see Rihanna dating half the team, and then
And
everybody
Matt Kemp
falls
just
apart.
crying and just hammering through some donuts.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we did the same thing before the show, so let's be fair.
We have one of our super fans bring us donuts before the show.
Which was amazing.
Yes.
Any super fans out there, welcome to bring us donuts before the show.
PO box number.
I think it's time. I think it's time to move on to our Bay of the Week.
Bay of the Week.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy
So my Bay of the Week this week is a little guy by the name of Jake Peter, who up until about a week ago was completely unknown in the Dodger system, except for probably the front office, I would imagine. So Jake Peter right now, through 10 spring training games, is hitting .389 with 3 home runs, so he's leading the team in home runs, 12 RBIs, 1 strikeout, and a 1.056 slugging percentage. So whatever you're doing, Jake, keep it going. Is he the same Jake from State Farm?
He could be.
might
I've
be.
seen him. He can kill some khakis. Let me
He
tell
does.
you.
He rocks a red shirt
tell
like
you.
nobody's business.
I got, for you people who are blessed like me, to have
blessed.
hashtag 20X Summers, who can have the Spectrum Sportsnet LA in your home television. Sorry, in it.
Ooh.
I had it personally installed by Kershaw and Mark Walter. You would have been able to watch the game on Thursday night, and you would have known, thanks to the lovely broadcast team of John Hartung and Jerry Harrison Jr., you would know that Jerry Harrison Jr. was a little bit almost late to the broadcast. He actually showed up about 12 minutes before
Oh, wow.
first pitch. And Jerry Harrison Jr. is my player and Bay and everything of the week because he is the consummate professional, because he absolutely crushed a cheeseburger on air during the game.
That's the way to do it.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo,
That's-
Jerry.
Can we get you to do that next week?
Yes.
Can we get you crushing a cheeseburger on the air?
Any cheeseburger sponsors in the area, you PO box number whatever. just send them care of FRG to frgco.co.
I like that.
Yes. Yes.
Cheeseburgers next week.
Yes. So Kevin,
Yeah.
Tom Kohler, he's out weeks to months with a mild strain, shoulder strain in his bowling shoulder. His league is very much disgruntled.
Yeah, that's terrible, great news.
They were on their way to finals. Tell us what happens in bowling leagues. Is it just beer?
I don't know. I heard the Pin Pals are pretty upset right
Yeah,
now
that's
about
what-
this. That was his bowling shoulder. That he was a 270, 280 bowler from what I hear.
That's huge.
So that's
Big
really big.
loss.
That's
They're
really
not
big.
going to conference finals.
Huge loss for them. However, lucky break for the Dodgers, I think.
Yeah. So the front office isn't really ready to. They're not ready to change the philosophy in what's been out the whole post or not postseason, off season.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a panic signing. That phone fell. They're not going to make a panic signing. We're not going to go out and try to get like a Greg Holland who's still out there for a dumb amount of money.
Yeah.
So let's think like, who do we have in house, and who's somebody you think could be that 8th inning guy, the bridge to Jansen this year?
Well, I would say my pick for an 8th inning guy this year is Scott Alexander. Scott Alexander is definitely a guy who showed what he had last year with the Royals, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think he is this year's sudden 8th inning, masterpiece guy that nobody really thought anything about last year.
Yeah, where I was hoping you're going to say Scott Alexander is a guy and just end it there.
He is a guy.
He is a guy.
He's a guy.
He is definitely a guy. I think it's going to be a little bit of the old. Old is the new. I don't know if that's how it'd be, but Yimi Garcia, who's finally healthy, and who had a chance 2 years ago to prove his worth in filling in for an injured Kenley Jansen. I mean, that kid, when healthy, has some just insanely filthy stuff. So
Yeah, he's a very good pitcher.
yeah,
Very good pitcher.
He could very easily come in with a 96, 97 mile an hour fastball and blow
Yeah.
people away, and he does it quick. He doesn't take 10 hours between pitches, Pedro. Of course, Pedro, just to kind of list off some of the right-handed relief options. Yes, there's going to be a Ross Stripling. Most likely, you have Pedro Baez, of course.
Of course.
Kenta Maeda is going to be in the rotation. That was all but said.
Until he's terrible. Then he's going to tear it up in the
terrible.
No, he's terrible rotation guy.
Haterade.
Absolutely.
Josh Fields is still there. There
He's
are
still
some
alive.
options, luckily.
Yeah.
So no reason to sign Greg Holland yet.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Moving on, there is a Twitter user named Ephus Blue who put out an interesting tweet yesterday. So his tweet says, "I wonder if the front office would entertain Arrieta as a possibility. Now, before you lose your S and whine about how you don't want Arrieta on the team, I'm not asking if you want him or not. Just wondering aloud if they kick the tires. It'd be foolish not to at least consider him." So what's the thought process on this?
One note, kids, when he says full of S, he means soup.
Yes.
Soup.
You don't want to be full of soup.
Stay in soup. Stay in soup. All of Yasiel Puig's kids.
All those kids. All those children's.
There's no reason to not kick the tires on somebody who's been out there for as long as he has. It doesn't make sense. If you can get somebody, and I had to respond. Sorry. Happy Fun Time Sports responded to that tweet with some just breaking, cutting edge stuff.
Yeah, our social media team is top notch
amazing.
On Happy Fun Time
The
Sports.
most best. They're tremendous.
Absolutely.
A lot of people tell me all the time they're great.
A lot of people are telling me they're the best we've ever seen.
But it's going to come down to the fact, like I said, just in the last bit, we're not trying to change the philosophy. They're not going to throw a lot of money out, especially at somebody who has a qualifying offer.
Yeah.
And that's really been the big thing this whole off season. That's held back Arrieta's market and it's held a lot of teams out of the free agent market.
Yeah. Well, you addressed that last week on the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those qualifying offers are a killer.
They're a killer because you lose your first round pick, or at least it depends on where you finish. And I don't know all of the logistics behind that because I'm only an FRGM, but I'm not really. I don't have my Pope hat on today.
Or do you?
No, I do not.
Okay, no, you
I do not. It's hard to do the Pope hat on top of a regular hat. Pope Dodger hat. That's going to be top of the park this season.
Pope Dodger 1 is actually going to be his moniker once he becomes Pope.
Is that it? I like it. I'm going to go with it. Can I get that business card?
I think so. I can get those made. Vistaprint.
The honeys will love it at the bar. What were we talking about? No,
Jake Arrieta.
It's a lot of money because you're losing international signing money and all that, or bonus money.
Absolutely.
And on top of the draft pick, and this is a team. The Dodgers have done so good with their drafts of late.
Absolutely.
Over the last however long, the end of Coletti's era and the beginning of
the Fraudman.
the Fraudman. Hashtag Fraudman. They've done great, and there's no reason to not want to try to keep drafting just great players and just run it out, keep rolling the dice. But if you can get
3
somebody,
words. Gavin Mother Effin Lux. That's 3 words.
yes,
Big fan.
it was hyphenated, so it's one word. But yeah, I mean, why not? I kind of threw out a 3-year, $48 million, which he's might not get more than that right now.
Yeah.
And you could do really kick ass as he's a brilliant number 2 guy. I would not call him an ace.
No, I don't think he's an ace anymore either. This isn't 2015.
No.
He's a guy that obviously he was a late bloomer, so he doesn't have tons and tons of mileage on him, but he is still 32 years old. He's still, he's the wrong side of 30, and he's not a guy that you want to commit a ton of years and a ton of money to.
As are we. Are we. San Diego was also listed as a possible mystery team.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah.
I don't understand why San Diego, or the other one that a lot of people are talking about is Philly.
Philly to me makes more sense.
Neither one
Then
of them
San
makes
Diego,
sense to me.
but the Philly makes just that little bit more sense. It's like, I don't know.
I feel like neither of them are close, and if I'm Jake Arrieta, what I'm looking at is a team that I can put over the top. So a team like the Dodgers would actually be a perfect fit if the money could match up. But for a team like San Diego, a team like Philly, it makes no sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Giants throw some money at him because that's what they do. They throw money at over the hill guys.
But Giants
that were good 5 years ago.
The Giants are even tighter on that payroll or the luxury tax. So I don't see them making any more plays right now.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Which is great for us.
Yeah, I like it.
Ding. Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
There are 3 weeks left, thereabout, in spring training.
Yes.
And, Dodgers are fast approaching that first cut time. They're approaching it.
Yeah.
We're about to start becoming cutters, as this was actually mentioned on the Dodgers.com, as the kids say these days. So let's prognosticate some of the bigger names that could be cut, and we'll kind of give our own 3 that might be sent to minor league camp that they're talking about could happen as soon as this weekend.
Yeah, I was reading that article as well.
So, Kevin?
Yeah, I can start. So my first one is a guy that I don't know if a lot of people have heard of him. It's this guy named Yu Darvish. After last year's meltdown in the World Series, I imagine they're just going to be looking to trade this no-name guy for whatever they can get, or just cut him and move on.
Yeah, send him to the minor leagues.
Yeah, I mean, he was awful. He really
absolutely.
was. I mean, I'd be fine. Maybe they can trade him to the Cubs, something like that.
That's a good move.
I think he'd fit on the Cubs. I think that's a good move.
I could see him in a Cubs uniform.
I could see him too. Yeah. I think Darvish to the Cubs is probably a good idea for us right now.
Yeah.
Second guy, Yasiel Puig. And so don't get me wrong, I love Yasiel Puig, but I'm pretty sure he's actually fathered half the children born to Dodgers players over the last 3 years. As you can see, there's right here. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty damning evidence if I say so. And then the other one that I would cut is a group called Happy Fun Time Sports. They're just a terrible dog and pony show. They bring nothing of value to society. I'd give them the axe right away.
Yeah, I don't like those guys.
Those guys are just terrible.
Like there's
Absolutely
this one dude.
Terrible.
Yeah, there's this guy on there. He normally wears like these V-necks all the time. I don't get it.
I don't know. I heard that guy was pretty sexy, but I could be wrong.
The Twitter polls, as we could see. Oh wait, we don't have that.
Wait.
Producer says we don't have that. I'm sorry. I'm the producer.
Next week.
I'm
Next week.
producer.
And what about you, FRG? Who would
gave
you?
myself a new title.
You did. Who would you be cutting?
First cut, number 1, Corey Seager. Very lazy player. You think about it. You really think about it. He hasn't even tried to play defense this season. Newsflash, Corey. Wow. There's no DH in the NL.
Yeah.
But there is that sweet picture up there. So.
I did recently run a movie called DH in the NL. So, yeah, it's pretty good.
Ooh, was that from did you have to walk through beads?
I did, actually. It was a couple of curtains that I had to get through to get that video. Let's move on. Let's
Number 2, Andre Ethier. He didn't even show up to camp. He lives right down the street.
Lazy. So lazy.
See, he's very happy about it. And finally, Logie Bear, shown here swiping Chase Utley's picnic basket. He's hitting around 500 this spring. So my question is this: where was that last season? All of a sudden you're showing up? Cut. You cut. Okay? Straight up, cut.
I like it. You're gone, Logie Bear. You're fired.
So this is the part where I think we talk a bit about our sponsor.
I agree. 85 Degrees Bakery is one of our favorite places to go before recording the show. We've discussed the merits of the amazingly tasty sea salt iced coffee before, as well as FRG's terrible Coke habit, but there's so much more available. They have freshly baked bread, cakes, pastries, cream puffs, and more. They have 23 locations in the LA area, so there's likely one right around the corner from you. Go to 85cbakerycafe.com and find the location nearest you. In addition, if you go on a Monday, 85-cent sea salt coffee is available. I would highly recommend it.
That's been the show.
Yeah, great time.
Yeah. You can like and share this video and subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out our new Snapchat, HFT Sports. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for HFT Sports. Send us your questions through any social media outlets mentioned or write in the comments below. It's just that easy. Special thank you to all our sponsors today. Without you, we are empty inside. If you are interested in being a sponsor, go ahead and email us at happyfuntimesports@gmail.com. Be sure to visit DodgersNation.com for breaking news, analysis, and opinion. And we will go ahead and see you next week. Go Blue.